All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell. 1-800-610-7035, worldwide toll-free. My email address is xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, Xzone Radio TV, and our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com. And we're coming to you around the world on the Xzone Broadcast Network and our vastly and growing family of broadcast terrestrial radio stations and satellite providers around the world. Exonation, my guest this hour is a gentleman by the name of Sebastien Blue. And Sebastien has been, he loves reading, let me just put it that way, of worldwide classical literature and a huge fan of horror movies since he was a boy. His love for foreign folklore and mythology inspired him to launch his first book series. Blue is a strong believer that, in addition to providing entertainment, young adult books should provide empowering and encouraging messages. Now, rising from an impoverished background and facing struggles with dyslexia, Sebastien Blue's ultimate goal is to promote literacy and creativity. And we're going to be talking to Sebastien this hour about his book, Liquid Diamond. His website is www.sebastianblue.com, and Sebastien is coming to us from his home in Peterborough, Ontario. Sebastien, welcome to the X Zone.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks, Sebastien. Liquid Diamond, tell us a little bit about your book.
Well, Liquid Diamond's a young adult book. It's meant to inspire effort in girls because the hero is in fact female, and she's very clever and intelligent and brave, and she's complicated, but she's a typical girl, I think. She ends up slipping into a different dimension through a liquid diamond portal. She runs into a troublemaking little boy right off the bat. His name is Catalyst, who accuses her of stealing crystals out of a base that keeps the liquid diamond solid as it slows down its molecules to a stop. He drags her before a king, and she is then charged with the responsibility of retrieving them, as the king, or the kingdom itself, has a history with humanity and has learned not to trust humans for pillaging and war and killings that they had committed once they had come up with the musket. They went to war with this place in order to obtain its riches, as mankind often does. And she sets off on her adventure with Catalyst to retrieve the crystal. And that's the gist of the beginning.
Where did your love for folklore, mythology, monsters, the strange, and the bizarre come from?
Well, as a child, I really enjoyed Frankenstein and the Wolfman and those types of books. They just captured my attention, and I used to get into the McBride movies on the Friday night with Elvira, and I enjoyed the Abbott and Costello of it all because it was frightening for a child to watch this, and it was intriguing, and it just drew me in.
I have to ask you, if it was frightening, why did you watch it?
Because it was frightening, and I enjoyed the fear.
Son of a gun! Now
sit there all. No, I'm sorry.
You sit there all alone?
Yeah, in the dark, and I'd watch these things, and then I got into the Friday the 13th, and I mean, up until about, 2 years ago, I was still having nightmares of Jason trying to kill me.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
I would imagine you're the kind of guy that really loves roller coaster rides and any other ride that scares the hell out of you.
Oh, yeah, it feels good. You get
you
a good adrenaline rush.
Hey, listen, Sebastien Blue, you and I have to take a commercial break. Please stand by. Exo Nation, our guest this hour is Sebastien Blue. He's the author of Liquid Diamond. His website is www.sebastianblue.com. That's www.sebastianblue.com. And Sebastien and I will be back on the other side of this commercial break in 2 minutes as we continue our trip through the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology from our broadcast center here in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, around the world on the X Zone Broadcast Network and our many broadcast partners and affiliates. Send me your email. Tell me what you think. If you've got a question for the guest, if you'd like to have a guest on the show, just send me the information to X-Zone at xzoneradiotv.com. My name is Rob McConnell. This is the X-Zone. We'll be back on the other side of this break. Don't go away. Modern Esoteric, Beyond Our Senses by Brad Olson, consummates the lifology story about where humanity originates. It is the lost continents, the primitive wisdom, the mythos of creation, and the rethinking of ancient history as we are taught in academia. There is much more to the story than what we have been told. As this is the first book in the Esoteric series, Modern Esoteric starts at the beginning of time and accelerates up to this modern age. Future Esoteric is book 2 in the series and takes a forward-looking position ahead of today with an open and honest examination of the ET issue and various unexplained phenomena. To discover the writings of author Brad Olson, visit www.bradolson.com. That's www.bradolson.com. Named one of the world's greatest psychics, Elizabeth Joyce is now giving readings worldwide via Skype. Elizabeth Joyce is recognized for her clairvoyant ability to help find missing persons, her analysis of dreams, past life regression work, mediumship, and her accurate predictions. Elizabeth has been a frequent guest on the X Zone radio show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, now for several years. For an appointment with Elizabeth Joyce, call 201-934-8986 or Skype at elizabeth.joyce. And for more information, you can always visit Elizabeth Joyce online at www.new-visions.com.
Do you have a dis-ease that you would like to alleviate through a natural means? Have you been contacted by angels, ghosts, or even extraterrestrials and want to validate these experiences? Or would you simply like to speak with someone who can help you find your life's purpose? I'm Dr. Joseph Mara, and I'm offering my services free of charge for first-time clients contacting me during the month of April. These free consultations include angel card readings, guided meditations, life coaching, and energy healing. If you have always wanted to explore these types of experiences but were skeptical or simply could not afford them, then take advantage of this free special offer. Contact me through my website, aguidinglight, spelled lite.com, to schedule your consultation today. Until then, I offer you love, light, and laughter.
Explanation, Sebastien Blue is our special guest this hour. We're going to be talking about magic portals, adventure, and gore this hour. He's got a new book out called Liquid Diamond. And 10-year-old Natalia falls through a cave portal known as the Liquid Diamond and lands in the world filled with mythical creatures. Here amongst a bunch of elves and other creatures of the dark and of the deep. She meets Catalyst, a boy of half-human, half-vampire hunter descendant. Fascinating story. What was your inspiration for writing this book?
A woman, actually, named Natalia Shurkaskaya. You see, getting onto the dyslexia part of the whole thing, I can read very well, and because of that, I didn't know I couldn't spell all that well. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably was at about a 4. And I met this girl off of a international date site, and she was living in Russia, in Yekaterinburg, and I filled out the applications to try and get her over here on a visa or to get me over there. And because I can't spell, the applications, and they don't tell you why they're rejected, they're just rejected if you make a single mistake. So what had happened is I ended up losing contact with her because she, didn't feel she could trust me, because everything in Russia happens overnight. Here in Canada, it's like 8 to 12 weeks. And I felt that because of what happened, that she needed an apology, and I wanted to write a book, so I just decided I'd make her the main character, and I wrote around her. And when I finished the first copy of this is when I realized I really don't know how to spell all that well, through rejections and everything else. And then when I sat down to rewrite it, because I thought, okay, I'll clean it up a bit and take another crack at it.
Sure.
That's when I discovered I couldn't write or spell. And so I ended up rewriting it again with a couple of dictionaries that I had found down in my lobby, because I didn't really have a whole lot of money at the time, and I couldn't afford expenditures like that, because I was in a car wreck about a decade ago, and I've been living on Ontario disability since then. So when I found these dictionaries, I was able to use them, and I opened them up enough to be able to wear out the covers on them. But I would say I went from about maybe a 4 to maybe about a 4.5, 5, and being improvement in spelling. But she was the inspiration for it, and it was just my way of apologizing to her,
Does she know what you've gone through to try and apologize, and the personal dedication that you've given to your project because of her?
Oh, I couldn't possibly tell you whether she would know about it or not. Like I say, she just went away, right? But the important thing is that it's there. If she ever Googles her name, she'll find it. And she's very handy with a computer herself. And, I mean, it's not impossible. It's probably just not probable. But, no, but that was the reason for it, And since I was into gore and all of that, and still am, and I just wrote around what I knew, and I put in the European description of these creatures, like the Bassionic, which is really just a Bigfoot. The Blemmy is a mindless cannibalistic eating machine. You've got cockatrices. They're just mythical birds out of the Bible, to tell you the truth. You've got the Acquittals, which are just acid-spitting snakes. It's just a bunch of gore, and I tried to make it really gross for children and whatnot. But case in fact,
you tried to make it gross for children.
Yeah, just nice and easy. But I see, when I originally wrote this, I wrote it for 8 to 10-year-olds. I was informed later by Friesen Press that it should be marketed to young adults.
Yeah,
because of the content. So I'm like, okay, then there you go. That's it. But yeah, that's basically the inspiration was a woman.
So your book, entitled Liquid Diamond, is more of a love story than most people would ever know, even though it's about gore, monsters, magic portals, adventure, and much more.
And blood blood and pus and filth and